Depending on the character's roles, some liberties to keep the plot moving are unrealistic. What I'm focused on is learned behavior, something you see over time. That is why I like series, because it starts to develop a character into a person and it constrains the writer into how the character can react. If you violate the spirit of the character, then you soon will find interest in the books will disappear. While the thoughts are inspired by the book, it does not imply the writer intended to inspire the thoughts I have. Here is a moment when a person is convinced, even seeing the bad, that it wouldn't happen to her. Yet already Max was damaging Marielle, making her doubt her self-esteem. Her desire to know what he refused to reveal because he doesn't reveal anything he doesn't have to causes Marielle Rebenskaya to look at Max's diary. Marielle honestly is in love, but even she was unaware of Max's feelings. Had to read his diary to get some clue. She still believes, or wants to believe, he loved her, while admitting how callous he was toward Tony and using them only to get what he wanted. This was in Max's diary, something he had no need to censor. She even joked about it, but was positive he would never do that to her. I'd point out Max's behavior at the party, Chapter 3. Madame Rebenskaya allowed the dance she had sole right to become available for Max's use, since he would use Marielle. She falls. He mentions there are some extenuating circumstances, but we only find out about the pregnancy in Chapter 16 from Marielle, who admits she didn't tell Max about it. So, what did he do? He decided that the dance would be used by Elisa. This sends Madame Rebenskaya to get angry. Max was callous, just as he was to Marshall in the bathroom, mentioning since the ballet company was in doubt, he no longer cared what Marshall wanted. Well, he had the dance, so he had no use for Madame, even though she had been with him from the very beginning. So, doing the right thing would have been to honor the agreement, but it would mean he must deny himself the chance of using it. It hadn't been used for so long, that would get a lot of attention. He was not willing to give up. That was his immediate response, and after he had a few hours to consider if Madame Rebenskaya or Marielle might have something he might still be able to use, did he decide the use of the dance would not be worth the cost. That was not from love or empathy for either Rebenskaya or Marielle. It was calculated. The initial behavior, that was the true Max Harkey. That was the moment you see the real character because, like many in some form of closet, he attempts to emulate behavior he can't feel, and the more you talk, your every action will endanger the secret you hide. Max is better because he has no emotions to cause him to endanger himself often, and most people assume so much that all these people must do is wait until they know what you want to hear and give that for as long as you have something of value to them. You might miss a few hints, but always something will help them. Understand, there are many types of closets. Those like Max are fine with his closet because, for him, it is a disability, a lack of empathy. In most cases, the closet is built from fear. In Max's case, it was built from self-interest, a much cozier place that will never see it as confining. While the thoughts are inspired by the book, it does not imply the writer intended to inspire the thoughts I have. The attempt is to start a discussion and get people to think about human behavior from the perspective of the closet. How this might lead to problems that make friends or partners or even business relationships difficult. I can understand why some would dismiss this effort. I find reminders in how the characters behave with memories of my own experiences and then explore that aspect. It's meant to start people to think. It is not meant to imply I am right. If you do not share the ideals with others, then how will you know if you're right? When talking, the focus should be on challenging and exposing your ideals, not in changing other opinions. That would only lead to frustration, since the only person you can change is yourself.